this is going to be my first ever commentated video. If all goes well, this will be the first of many commentated videos, but in the meantime, please let me know what you think of this concept as a whole. If you hate me commentating, let me know. If you love me commentating, let me know. In any case, let's get started. So, this is stage 1 of the game. There are 2 stage 1s you can select. I'm doing stage 1L, or lead, as the L stands for. There's nothing really of substance to note about this stage. It's kind of stereotypical shoot 'em up stage 1. Very, very boring. The music is great though. So, Hellsinker. As I'm sure most of you are aware, I've been grinding Imperishable Knight, LNNFS, for a very long time now. And yeah, it's really not that fun. It's just hard to find the motivation to even play sometimes. As for this game, playing it has been an absolute blast. This is genuinely one of the best shoot 'em ups I've ever played, if not the best. And I know my shoot 'em up game pool isn't really that big, but of that small pool, this has to be the top one. It's just such a blast to play, and I'm really glad I could get this 1cc. And even after getting this clear, I still have more to do in the game, and more I want to do. So, I'm using Fossil Maiden, character and shot type. Her playstyle is very aggressive, but primarily you just want to use your sub-weapon, which is the little green lady right there that I put out. And she'll do it for you. When you graze next to a bullet with the sub-weapon activated, or the lance, which I'm sure you've already seen, then bullets will either slow down, or depending on your appeasement, maybe even destroy those bullets. Right there, those are life points. And you can see in the top left corner, I have 5 lives right now. And there's the little counter with necessary. That's how many life points you need until the next one. So I would explain more about the mechanics of the game, but that would probably need its own video entirely because this is a very confusing game. And I actually do plan on making a Hellsinker rudimentary guide video sometime in the future, possibly, with the help of a friend, of course, who also plays the game. I'll link his channel in the description. Great guy, he carried me through this game, or Baho. But yeah, as you saw right there, that was the stage 1 boss. Just go for the head, and you can easily kill it. So we're moving on to stage 2 lead. I'm sure you've seen this Luna refilling as I do a certain shot. If you press your main shot twice in a row below an enemy, you will be able to shoot that out and not only inflict a lot of damage, but remove any bullets. It's great, and you really need to use it a lot more in the later stages. Right there, oh, and right there, I got hit, which results in solid state. It's a certain mode you can choose upon selecting, all your configurations before you start a credit. What it means is, unlike the normal mode, when I get hit, I won't die immediately. I'll have a little invulnerability period, as represented by as you see in the top right, the solid state counter right there. Rest is 1, which is how many solid states I have left. And if you also notice, when I get solid stated, the soul counter goes down, because it's dependent on that too. Again, I won't get into the intricacies of it, but just a rudimentary understanding. So, stage 2 is very sub-weapon focused. Right there, I bombed, because I did not route it correctly. You really just want to, especially as Fossil Maiden, put your sub-weapon near the top of the screen and let it kill everything for you, while you just kind of sit back and dodge. Occasionally you have enemies that might break the mold, like these things, which are semi-invulnerable if you are trying to kill them brute force. But they're pretty alright. So you switch to the lance for these ones, because if you let them build up, they are a big pain. Right here I get another life. If you can see in the top left, I am immortal, which means I have the max amount of lives. So this is the stage 2 boss of the lead stage, at least, Scarlet Queen. My strategy for this boss... Oh, I died right there. That's, yeah, very embarrassing. So, you see the limb of it that's shooting lasers? Go for that one first. And also use bombs, because they're amazing, as represented by the soul counter when it's fully bomb. Then go for the little... I'm not sure what to call it. It's wings right there, which shoot out little extra bullets, and it becomes significantly easier. Once you do that, you can just go for the main head and kill it. If you can see in the on the left side of the screen, I have 7 Stella. I won't get into the details of Stella, but it's high enough to where I unlock the secret boss, the Scarlet Queen's secret form, Soul Gelatily. I'm sorry I didn't pronounce that right, but yeah. With that 2-tap shot, it's very easy as long as and with your sub-weapon. So we're moving on to stage 3. There is a stage 3 lead for this, but I went for stage 3 behind because it's not only easier, but also helps in managing Stella. As the higher Stella you have, the easier patterns become. Whereas the lower Stella you have, the harder patterns become. It's very inverse on how you should approach it. Because you'd think that the higher Stella would be harder, but no. So, right here, not really doing much of substance. So this is the mid-boss. It likes to come in with these lasers. With the sub-weapon, it's amazing, since you can just knock out the cannons and don't really have to worry about them hitting you. Oh, but right here I messed up. I forgot that that section was coming up. If you see these little red enemies, make sure you're using your sub-weapon for Fossil Maiden, as they will, upon death, bring out a little life piece. For the longest time, I didn't even know the sub-weapon was a thing. Or that even like bombing, at least in how I do it, was a thing. I had to have someone teach me the very basic details of the game. So very embarrassing. So this is the stage 3 boss. His name is Sunken Bishop. It's very easy. Blow off its shoulder right there, and it's powerless. You can just kill it now. With Fossil Maiden's Lance, the purple is the strongest one. Whereas yellow, you don't really want to use it if you're going for 1cc, as that is for scoring. So, very easy boss fight. Easy, easy. So right there, I'm sure you can see every stage, there's these little purple and green items that fall. Getting the green one will raise your Stella, which is good, whereas getting the purple one will lower your Stella, which, as we know, is bad in difficulty. So always try and go for the green one. For the longest time, I auto-collected the purple one because I thought they were good. But they're not. Don't go for it. So I really hate these enemies right here, the ones that shoot the little missiles at you. I just feel like the sub-weapon for Fossil Maiden isn't really strong enough at times. And that's not to say it technically isn't, it's just probably placebo for me, but still. This is my least favorite part of the stage. You have your starfish enemies right here. They're invulnerable, aside from their center. And if you can't kill them in time, they can really just mess you up. So, bombs and sub-weapon are your best bet there. So right here is a good opportunity for lights. These are very easy enemies at this point in the stage. It's mostly just a break section if you're doing survival. I'd imagine for scoring you probably do want to do something complicated with them, but yeah. Very briefly, I'm sure you could see the blue bullets are shooting out. That's also made into the main shot, but you never want to do that. Okay, so, right there. These are the urchin enemies. They aren't really hard on their own, but they are notable in that I should be explaining the master mechanic. I'm sure you've seen throughout the clear that there are enemies that pop up connected to other enemies. And on those original enemies, they have a master logo on them. Again, I won't get into the details, but killing the master enemy will result in usually the deaths of all the minion enemies. So you want to go for them always, aside from a few exceptions, like the beginning of stage 2. So if you see red enemies like I did earlier, always use a sub-weapon as they are free life points. Interesting section right here, as it is, well, not just this section, but this entire stage is synced to the music, so learning music cues with this game actually helps out a lot. So this is the true last part of stage 4. It's dependent on how fast you cleared it. If you're slow, you won't even see that part. So, stage 4 boss. In my opinion, the second hardest boss in the game, stage for stage. Rusted Dragon. I die right here. It's very fast in reaction time. If you're just starting out against it, it'll probably just destroy you, as you really need to learn its attacks. But even disregarding learning, it's just a very fast-paced boss, so you also need amazing reaction time. So the strategy for Rusted Dragon is to go for one of its wings entirely. It has 2 health bars. So right here, I killed the right wing. You could also go for the left wing. But do not go for the left wing after you get the right, or vice versa. Because Rusted Dragon, as with most bosses in the game, when you destroy all of their limbs, they'll enter like a very insane, crazy phase that is very difficult, and you only want to do that if you're scoring. So don't do that. So now you just want to go for the head. Bombs and the Luna Shot weapon I'm doing are your best bet here. This pattern right here, it's very deceivingly difficult. It looks very simple, and it is, but it's actually surprisingly very difficult. Lots of deaths. Right there, see? I solid state right there. And I die right there. It's pretty difficult. So it's okay if you kill one wing, and then get rid of the health bar of the other one, as long as you don't kill the other wing entirely. So right there, if you kill Rusted Dragon fast enough, then you can get a free revive, which is just a life. So next we're moving on to stage 5. Right here, this is for like the lore of the game. This isn't really important for gameplay, but I do recommend reading up on the lore. It's very cool. So stage 5, it's unlike anything I'm sure some of you have seen in a shoot 'em up. It's a maze section. And when I first got here, I thought this was the coolest thing ever. Cause, be honest, a maze in a shoot 'em up, never been done before, at least from the ones I've played. See nothing like that before. But about the stage itself, it's pretty simple, aside from the boss, which we'll get to later. It's mostly just an opportunity to restock on lives. I also do recommend picking the left side, as that route has the easier stage 5 boss. I'm thinking back to some interesting parts about Rusted Dragon. So the practice mode in this game is unlocked through once CCing stages 1 to 4. And when I'm just starting out with the, of course, no practice mode, it's kind of hard to learn these boss fights, so that's far easier said than done. One time I got to Rusted Pace on a 1cc, and it was so close to unlocking practice levels, which, oh, I should also mention, 1ccing stages 1 to 4 also unlocks the alternate stages, so instead of having to play stage 1 behind, you can play stage 1 lead. But I unlocked, or I didn't unlock. You see, I was fighting Rusted Dragon, so close to beating it. I had 3% HP on it left, and I died right there. It was soul crushing. But while soul crushing, it did inspire me to, get that 1cc of stages 1 to 4 and finally be able to play this game efficiently. It's great stuff. I love the progression this game has. It's just so rewarding when you really learn this game, and I can't recommend this game enough. But yeah, so stage 5 is, Immortal Simulator, basically, as this is where you're going to be able to get a lot of lives, aside from one section we will be going to a bit later. The turrets, as I'm sure you've figured out, are the ones dropping the life points, so you want to be going for them. So right there, I achieved immortality again, but I'm already immortal. It's just for scoring. Unfortunately, you don't gain, even more lives, because there's a certain amount of lives you're allowed to have before it caps out. You can improve the amount with a certain section when you're starting out, but it's only by 1. So this is the final part of the maze. What I recommend doing is killing these turrets first, and then you just want to Luna and then bomb this guy. So we are out of the maze and into the stage 5 boss, Perpetual Calendar. You can see him in the background, and this is so cool. I love it. He comes into the foreground. It seems very basic, but it's just little details like that make me love this game. So in this phase, you can't actually kill him. What you're doing is trying to time out. If you see in the top right, the limit is counting down. That's the timer, and you need, of course, that to reach 0 before you can move on. So, it's a boss rush with a Perpetual Calendar. This is the first boss in the left side of the maze. Aristo Fencer, he's very easy. Just sub-weapon lance his center, and you're done. Easy, no deaths. This is the worst part of Perpetual Calendar, because this fire pendulum he's swinging, his movements with it are completely random. It's really just iffy. It's been the source of many deaths and many failed Perpetual Calendar fights. Okay, so right here is the second boss of Perpetual Calendar, this Curious Mediator. He's a bit harder than the first one, but it's kind of the same logic. Go for the center, ignore the limbs he has, and you should be fine. I recommend staying further down for Fossil Maiden and then just using your bombs and your Luna Shot. So this is the third and easiest form of Calendar itself, excluding the final fight where you can properly kill Calendar. So this is right here. You want to watch out, because this is the Blossom boss. If you're fast enough, you can actually launch a bomb in the middle, but I wasn't. Yeah, I die right here. This boss is so annoying. I've had so much trouble with it. It really likes bouncing you around into its bullets, which I'm pretty sure is the gimmick right there. But you want to destroy a few of its limbs, I should say, and then just go for the center. Because again, if you destroy the entire Blossom, then it's gonna go insane. But man, for the longest time, that was my worst boss of Calendar. Just kind of surprising. So right here, this is the blue fire yo-yo. It's still pretty RNG, but what you want to be doing is staying as far away from it as possible in the stage, and it's far more consistent than the orange fire. So this is the final calendar boss it sends out at you. Old Rose. Very reminiscent of Alice, but yeah. So right here it spawns these old dolls. You want to be, at least for Fossil Maiden, using your sub-weapon and destroying them, and then going for some damage in between phases. Again, with boss health, the Luna Shot helps out so much. It's amazing. Just like oh, right here I get balled. Yeah. I didn't really know what I could do there. But for me, this was, and probably still is, the hardest calendar boss. Because while I had a personal dislike of Blossom, which was, you know, far more anger towards it than this one, on a technical level, this is the definite hardest one for me. Also the cause of many calendar failures. So, destroy those dolls, and then start going for Old Rose herself. Right here, and there you go. If you're not fast enough, it adds another phase. So this is when you kill calendar itself. What you want to do is bomb its center and easy kill. If not, you have to do a little bit of an annoying fight, but it isn't that bad. So yeah, calendar. Such a cool boss. Because I love how, I'm sure you saw in the background, you could see Calendar just chilling while it sent out its boss fight. I just love little stuff like that. It adds so much to the atmosphere. But moving on to stage 6, here's some more lore, but again, that's for you to read on your own time, and me as well. So this is probably the hardest stage in the entire game. Boss fight and stage. I'm sure you can maybe make the argument that the final boss is, of course, harder, and I don't doubt that, especially if you're counting TLBs, but at least in terms of what I experienced in this one CC, this is the definite hardest one. So it starts out with this barrel section. It's pretty straightforward, just watch out for them. The entire stage, as you can see, there's this laser that attacks based on your position. Yeah, you can't do anything to get rid of it, it's just going to be there the entire time. It makes more sense when you get to the boss of stage 6, or the bosses I should say. Spoiler. But yeah, it's a very interesting mechanic. It's really not that bad when you get used to it. It's actually pretty cool to get rid of enemies with it. So you have this little maze right here. I actually don't know if touching those little green guys kills you. It probably does, but I've never checked. I'm too scared. So this is the stage 6 mini boss. Well, it's very tanky, to say the least. If you're good at positioning and also get good RNG, you can get the laser to hit this thing and do massive damage. Right here, as you can see. Now, it didn't hit the boss itself, it hits little shield crystals, which I'm sure are the point, but yeah, apparently you can speed kill this thing. It's pretty interesting. I've never been good enough to. Like all of my previous runs fighting this, I would get so greedy while fighting it. I just wanted to kill it, and it'd result in me losing a life in the process of killing it. It's not even worth killing it, aside from, like, of course, scoring, which is kind of the default answer, as you don't really get anything cool for it. See right here, you just get to feel good about yourself that you are a true stage 6 super player. So right here, nothing of substance. It's just, yeah, sub-weapon. I really love the music in the stage. I've been talking over it too much, but if you can hear it, it's a very, like, relaxed arrangement of the first title screen theme. It's so good. I highly advise everyone to listen to the OST of this game on their own. It's great stuff. So this part's a bit scary. You can usually get past it though, if you are positioning right. So the laser comes back here, and if you saw it just vaporized that one enemy. That's why it's scary when you first see the laser, but learning to use it, it's amazing. So these enemies, I really hate them. Result of a few deaths for me. I just prefer bombing them since they're so tanky to kill otherwise. coming up, this is such a cool segment. Of course, you're not actually going down, but the way the enemies are positioned going up, like, the implication that you are is just, oh, that's so good. I love it. This game is, again, I've said it so much, but it's so cool. So it's a basic screaming section right here. I've actually died to this very same screaming section one time. It was really not ideal. Now these guys, they kind of trick you. You'd think, especially as Fossil Maiden, I thought in the past to go be aggressive and go get them, but they just like to shotgun you after this blue, as I'm sure you saw with the brown bullets. So just play it safe with the sub weapon and, you know, sit back and let the sub weapon kill them. So this is a very frantic part of the stage. Laser's going to be coming up at you, while at the same time, you know, you're trying to escape it, and these enemies are coming in on the side. Again, it's like the first time I reached this, I was like not only in disbelief of how cool Stage 6 was, but also just so stressed out, because the first time you do this, it's a very stressful stage. But again, once you learn it, that's the thing with this game, it's so rewarding, and I love it. If it wasn't for a certain other stage, this would probably be my favorite stage in the game. So right here, you have to be very precise, but the laser comes and clears the section for you, and okay, I'm just gonna be silent and let you see this. So cool, isn't that? That's such an amazing music sync. Gosh, I've heard this song before even fighting these ones, but it just hits so hard when you see it in game. So these are the Apostles, Dusk and Dawn. Hardest bosses in the game, to be honest. Ones that give me the most trouble. Yeah, right there. I get solid stated. Yeah, so they are a dual boss. If you see in the background, the sword is flipping over to certain sides. But you wanna, when it reaches a certain side, the other one comes in for the corresponding, of course, side. So, in this one, I was lied to by a certain someone. You do not want to kill the one I killed first. Kill this one first, because after you kill them, they have this little, right here, suicide attack. It's really... It's just a very, very difficult attack to dodge, and I chose the wrong one right there. Yeah, but if you don't kill them fast enough, then they do this like amazing team attack that just destroys you, so be very careful. I recommend sealing their limbs. If you seal an enemy, I should explain, it doesn't allow them to fire from it. But yeah. Anyway. Right here, it doesn't end. This is the only stage in the game where after you beat the boss, there's another section after it. It's brutal, I tell you. It's difficult too. It's like Tana, the developer of the game, you wanted to, give you a little wake-up slap. You think you beat the game, or the boss, you're getting complacent? No, right there, you just die, because you're not paying attention. But yeah, I hate those. I hate these guys right here. I just bomb them, or due to the Luna shot. So, yeah, hard streaming section right here. It's really not that bad. And there you go, that is stage 6, the longest and hardest stage of the entire game. But also, by far, one of the coolest. If not, for a certain one right here. This is my favorite stage in the entire game. Not this lore. The Shrine of Farewell. It's the music, the bosses, the atmosphere, it's amazing. So you have all these little cards that will choose what order you fight the bosses in, but it's the same 4. Sorry, I just wanted you to listen to that drop. So, this is Temperament Mill. Like, this is so cool, isn't it? Like, in what other game, shoot 'em up I should say, would you make the boss hit itself? I've never seen that before, it's great. I'm sure there's shoot 'em ups out there who've done that, but this is the first time I've seen it, which is amazing. So, the Shrine, you don't have any stakes here, you won't lose any lives if you die here. It's an opportunity to actually get lives. But, man. So that was the first boss, Temperament Mill. It isn't too bad. aside from the piano attack, which I fortunately killed fast. So you have these almonds that meow at you in between each boss. Just go up above them and you should be fine. So this is 9... The font's a bit hard to read. 9... I can't read the second one. Probably my third most difficult one. Yeah. Sorry for being silent, but man, you need to listen to that drop in the background. The Shrine of Farewell theme. Yeah, I get destroyed by this one right now. Again, the Luna shot helps a lot, as well as the sub-weapon, but it's just very, very undesirable. So right here, yeah, do not touch 9, or else you'll get hardcore bounced into the fire. Right here, I decided to just bomb, and yeah, there you go. So another meowing almond. Lots of meows in this game. It's really something. So this boss right here, do not bomb it, it'll heal it. What you want to do is destroy those 4 thingies, and then that'll lower its defense enough for you to kill first phase. As well as this phase, the same philosophy, but you can actually bomb. It won't heal it. For the longest time, I had such trouble. I had a lot of trouble with this one. Especially the first phase, because I could not figure out why I was doing so little damage, and well, it turns out I was doing it wrong the entire time. Last phase is a bit tricky. You didn't really see much of it too well, but yeah, bombing should do the trick. So more meowing almonds. They're called something stones, but I don't really care. So this is Million Lies. Oh, I think that's what it is, okay. So probably, I don't know, this one doesn't really stand out too well. Like, he's not easy, because, okay, this yellow bullet attack is just insane. It destroys me every time, despite being so simple. But he's not really too difficult. The final phase is pretty easy. It's just fire smushing. It's very cool looking, though. Like, gosh, I love how it looks. But yeah, bomb plus sub-weapon and Luna. I keep calling the lance the sub-weapon. They're two different things, but lance. So meowing almond, probably easiest of the bunch. Man, I was taken off guard when I first saw this thing, because I'd never gotten this far in the shrine before. And I was just starstruck by what is that thing. So this boss right here, it's Scary Stupa. Very interesting name, but its health is dependent on the timer, as you can see in the top right corner. So it's a timeout boss. Just don't die, and then you can get more for it. I should have explained earlier, the overall point of the shrine is to restock on lives, which we will see right here. So your sub-weapon can collect stuff for you. These crystals right here count as life points, so just get as many of them as you can. As you can see, they're increasing your life. Because I'm, going immortal in stage 7. So the interesting thing about this credit was, again, with how the practice system works, you have to reach the stage to unlock it. I only intended to reach stage 7 and maybe 8 to unlock them for practice mode. I did not expect to beat the game or, to even reach stage 8 at all. So, I was feeling pretty nervous. I did not believe I was doing so well right there. So we're going into stage 7. Lots of unnecessary lore. Not unnecessary in that it's bad for the game. It's just for this video, we don't really care. So yeah, very cool background. But yeah, it starts out very difficult. At least for me, it's yeah. So it's pretty frantic when you first start it. It's not too bad now that I'm looking at it. It's pretty simple streaming plus some wave bullets, but man, I was so nervous when I got here. Because, I didn't want to blow it. I really needed to unlock this for practice. And I was also feeling good about myself. I'm immortal into stage 7. Surely nothing can go wrong, and I can reach the stage 7 boss, right? I mean, granted, I thought at the time that the Stage 7 boss would insta-destroy me, but, you know, I was, you know, holding on to the hope that, what if I reach Stage 8, too? So these, okay, these, like, absolute legends right here, just watch out for them. Yeah. It's a pretty short stage. We're already at the final boss, the Stage 7 boss. Rex Cavalier, I believe. Cavalier? I'm not sure how to pronounce the second part, but yeah, I was just, like, look how cool. When I first got to this, I was like, holy crap, that thing looks amazing, and because of that, it's probably going to destroy me. You know, being honest, I still don't really know how to fight this very well, but from what I'm gathering, yeah, it has its little lances that shield it. You want to be going for its main body. Apparently, oh, I get absolutely destroyed right here. It starts to wear at me that, you know, this fluke 1cc into Stage 7 might end right here. But yeah, want to go for the body right there. That's, I believe, its main health bar. But looking at it now, it's way easier than the Apostles. At least starting out. Yeah, unfortunate death right there. Wasn't even to that hard of a pattern too. I was just, again, I was very nervous right here. So that's not the end of it, unfortunately. You kill Rex's first phase and you have its little core right here. I tried to attack it. I don't think that actually does anything. I'm not really sure though. Yeah, just watch out, because these blue ones in the back, yeah, they also try and get you. And the game just keeps piling it on top of you with those little purple ones that you don't want to get because they raise the Stella, or lower it. So this is Rex's final phase. It's this little blossom thing. I actually heard, apparently, that in this run, I was so close to having Rex enter its, like, this phase I don't get to in this run, which just, like, apparently insta-ends your run because it's so difficult or something. Yeah, it's scary. I didn't even know I was, like, one brush away from death. So Rex's final phase right here, it's, I guess, Essence. Classic bomb plus sub-weapon is amazing, as well as the lance. Again, it was so scary when I got here. I did not want to lose my 1cc to Rex only. And with the increased amount of deaths, it was like a very likely chance in my mind, that I did. But fortunately, this is, I believe, the end of it. But yeah, look at that. Like, gave me a heart attack when I first saw it. There we go. That is Rex Cavalier. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kept my dignity, didn't I? So we are going on to Stage 8, the final stage of the game. Again, more lore. Read that on your own time. I won't lie, I wasn't literally shaking when I got here, but it felt like I should have been, because, man, I was nervous. Because, you know, in my mind, there was that possibility of, okay, I won't just unlock this first stage practice anymore. There's, like, a distinct possibility I unlock this, or not unlock it, I get the 1cc, you know? And with, you know, those added stakes, it just became so much more, like, stressful. So surprisingly, it's actually not too hard stage section-wise. I really love the background. Like, look at it. Just going into some, I don't even know, like a city. I'm sure if I read more of the lore, I'd know, but yeah. The Luna shot just destroys these ones. So yeah, sub-weapon, typical strat. I ran into a bullet like an idiot and got comboed by missiles. So those nerves I previously mentioned just started going, you know, haywire. I really wanted to see the final boss. I made a decision in my mind. If I'm going to reach stage 8 and fail this run, I need to at least get to the final boss, both for practice and just to like experience it. It's so scary. I believe you can see me start to play just a bit more cautiously and really start to spam all like the quote-unquote gimmicks. Oh, and listen to that. Just the music changed into like a more energetic and frantic one. Doesn't help your nerves, I tell you. It just made me more scared. So you have these little, I'm not sure what to call them, guys right there. Yeah, not too bad. You have these enemies right here. They're pretty annoying. Seems like Luna Shot destroys them. I thought this stage would be my downfall right here, or this section, but this part isn't really that difficult. But this part, man, because the thing on the right is like so tanky, and it combines with the, again, those little scorpion-looking guys. Makes for an unpleasant time. I was probably doing it wrong. You're probably supposed to be attacking the scorpion ones, but again, in the moment, there was one thing in my mind: please reach stage boss. You know, reach the final boss. That's all that was going through my mind. All cost. So you have these giant thingies right here. Again, I don't know the actual enemy name. Very fast-paced. Seems my Toho dodging skill kind of carried me there. But yeah. So in the background we reach this part. This is the final boss right here. When I reach this, I admit I stopped playing for just a bit to recollect myself because I was so scared. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in terms of the final boss before. It's just... man. This text. So, this is the final boss. I don't actually know what it's called. Hidden Archie, I guess? Yeah, it starts in the blossom pattern. It's really not that difficult now that I think about it, but in the moment I was just so overcome by, oh my god, I'm actually here, that, man, I really made a lot of mistakes. You'll see later. Yeah, so this part right here, so this boss is pretty interesting. It seems like, well, I don't actually understand it entirely now, but the more you hit it, it'll like increase this counter, which is your, well, it's not your counter, it's a certain counter that, I don't even know how to explain it, I'm so sorry, but yeah, this, yeah, right here. Really, I'm just getting carried by the fact that I previously collected so much lives. You see me start to panic bomb right here, I'm scared. Yeah, so... again, yeah, I'm making like easy mistakes on patterns like that. Spam bombing, it's not looking good for me mentally in this moment. Yeah, make sure you spam the Luna Set weapon. And I got sidetracked, so there's a counter that, I don't know if it's at the top, but the more you damage the boss, it'll raise, and then when it gets high to a certain point, it'll unlock like the true last boss, TLB for short. I didn't get it in this run, but yeah, now I know. Yeah, lots of spamming of the Luna Shot, which is good, you want to be doing that. Right here. This is very much a boss that if you know, route the patterns, you know how to do it good, but yeah, I don't. You can see on the left right there, when the bullets hit that spear, they, you know, don't go beyond it. I should admit, I should have known that. I think I tried right there, but yeah. Again, I wasn't thinking of that in the moment. Again, you know, I'm dying so many times here. I only have 3 lives left, that I'm getting very scared and making even worse decisions. But I'm also spamming even more bombs and Luna Shot because I don't want, you know, I'm already here, right? So, in my mind, there's a distinct chance I do get the 1cc. So I'm trying everything I can to make sure I get the win. And that's it. Because I didn't unlock the true last boss, I don't get to experience furthermore. Again, didn't do enough damage to the final boss, but yeah. But I didn't care in that moment until we meet again, indeed. I will get that TLB later, but yeah, when I realized I beat the game right there, I popped off, I tell you. It was great. I was so excited, I couldn't believe it. Again, stage 7 and 8, completely unintentional. I only wanted to unlock them for practice. I didn't mean to actually, 1cc the entire game. Man, it was certainly an experience though. And the best part is, I'm not done with this game because I unlocked short mission, after which you get for beating the game, of course. So I'm still going to do that, but also I need to do this again to fight, not 1, not 2, not 3, but the 4 TLBs, which is going to be great. So expect to see clears of those in the future. But man, what a game. I really love Hellsinker, man. I really recommend that you guys all check this out if you haven't already. It's so rewarding. I will say it's very confusing to get into, so make sure you have a guide with you. But yeah, that was my Hellsinker 1cc. So again, this is my first ever commentated video. If you liked it, like I said at the beginning, then please let me know. What I did well, just what you liked about it. If you didn't like it, then also please let me know what I could do to improve on in my commentary. Because this is a, unscripted, personal, clear video, not really anything professional. I'm not aiming to make a full-on guide with this video. But yeah, let me know what I could improve on if possible. Let me know if you just like this commentated video in general, but yeah. And if you, how should I say it, just please let me know what you think of what do you think of future commentated videos in the future. But yeah, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. I love Hellsinker.